European leaders met in Copenhagen on Thursday for two summits focused on security, defense, and the war in Ukraine, following a spate of troubling drone incidents at Danish airports and military bases over the last week. According to Associated Press, Denmark's defense ministry said that a precision radar system has been set up at Copenhagen airport to help keep watch. Unidentified drones forced the closure of the airfield a week ago, causing major disruptions to air traffic. None of us can no longer be naive. The war was never just about Ukraine. It is about Europe. All our nations, all our citizens, our values and our freedom, said Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Fredriksen, who a day earlier warned the continent must arm itself. France, Germany, the Netherlands, Sweden and the UK also sent aircraft, ships and air defense systems to Denmark ahead of the summits. Ukraine's armed forces have dispatched a mission to the Nordic country for joint exercises, sharing its expertise on combating Russian drones. Leaders and intelligence services believe that Russia could mount an assault elsewhere in Europe in 3 to 5 years, and that President Vladimir Putin is intent on testing NATO as doubts swirl about US President Donald Trump's commitment to the organization. On September 10, when several Russian drones breached Poland's airspace, NATO aircraft were scrambled to intercept and shoot down some of the devices. It was the first direct encounter between NATO and Moscow since Russia launched its war on Ukraine on February 24, 2022. The incident jolted leaders across Europe, raising questions about how prepared the alliance is against Russia. Days later, NATO jets escorted 3 Russian warplanes out of Estonia's airspace. The EU talks on Ukraine will focus on continued military and financial support for the conflict-ravaged country, as funds, weapons, and ammunition once provided by the United States dry up. A new proposal to use frozen Russian assets to help Ukraine will be discussed.
Very much.
It must be clear to everyone now, Russia will not stop until they are forced to do so. And they are a threat, not only to Ukraine, but to all of us. Today we have one major task ahead of us. We have to make our common Europe so strong that war against us becomes unthinkable. And we have to do it now. It was founded as a response by you, Emmanuel, to Russia's full. I know that for some of you, the threat from Russia is very clear and very present. For others, it still seems further away. But none of us can no longer be naive. The war was never just about Ukraine. It is about Europe, all our nations, all our citizens, our values and our freedom. But building a stronger military is not enough. We need more than that. Because Russia has intensified its use of hybrid means in Europe. And we face an enemy that uses all kinds of tools. One day it is military drones. Another day it's migrants being pushed across the borders. They are targeting critical infrastructure. We see the fight with misinformation, all with the purpose to create uncertainty and lack of trust, and attempts to interfere in democratic elections. On the positive side, many European nations are ready to do what is necessary to support peace in Ukraine and in Europe. But peace with Russia can only be achieved through strength. We have to strengthen Ukraine and weaken Russia with more sanctions. We have to be able to finance the armed forces in Ukraine. All of us have to deliver more weapons, more ammunition, and we have to do it faster. Nowhere it will make a greater impact for European security than at the front lines in Ukraine. It's not charity, what we're doing in Ukraine. It is a direct defense of our continent. And by the way, we have to take much stronger action on migration. We have to strengthen our borders. Uncontrolled migration is changing our societies, and it is our citizens that pays the price. Who can enter and stay in our country? It has to be a democratic decision. To you,
we are all now in a new reality, and everyone, I think, understands this, even those who may not want to admit it yet. The recent drone incidents across Europe are a clear sign that Russia still feels bold enough to escalate this war. And it was never just about Ukraine. Russia has always aimed to break the West and Europe in particular. Today, their strategy is simple: to divide Europe, to ignite arguments, to prevent us from finding common ground. And I believe we must do the exact opposite of what Russia expects. We must act together, and we must act with strength. Because before me, I want to congratulate Maya Sandu on the victory. Our guys are already here in Denmark, and there are experienced Ukrainians who know how to detect and shoot down attack drones, and they have already begun deploying their mission, and we are ready to share this experience with you, partners. And this is just the beginning, the first step on the path toward an effective drone wall to protect all of Europe. To everyone who helped to secure fair elections. We must remember that the root of all these problems is Russia's war. Russia still has the resources to keep fighting, and that's not right. But we know the right steps. A 19th package of sanctions against Russia for the war is urgently needed. We also need to seriously think how to truly down Russia's entire oil trade infrastructure, because that's what fuels their war machine. Right now, we are seeing that even tankers already under sanctions are still being used by Russia. That has to stop. And let's also place more sanctions against captains and crews of shadow fleet vessels, as well as against the owners of the relevant companies. Thank you.